You talk about the camps getting more aggressive. There is this thought that maybe Jerod Mayo is being unfairly termed a players coach.
Hmm.
The camp, I guess the Patriots camp is fairly hard. They're practicing hard. The weather's been hot. What are you hearing about Jerod Mayo?
I mean, it's definitely different, and I think like the part of the adjustment similar to like whenever a team has lost a coach like that, right? Like so I covered the Cowboys the year after Bill Parcells was gone when Wade was there. And you hear the same stuff then that you'd hear in any of these situations, which is he treats us like men and we have freedom and it's great to be able to, breathe a little bit. And I think in a lot of cases like that, it's sort of the maturity of your team, the maturity of your players is going to determine how far the team can take it from there. And that Cowboys team, to its credit, had a lot of like Parcells guys who were militaristic, who kind of carried the torch, but eventually that torch burned out, So they won 13 games that first year. Then it was 9 the year after. Then Wade's job was on the line the last 2 years he was there. So I think there's a fine line that anybody who's following a coach like that has to walk, where it's like you probably can't demand the same stuff out of them, but you also can't, take your thumb off of them completely. And like that's one of the challenges. I think like with the contract stuff, like that's been a real challenge,
Sure.
because I mean, I'll tell you this, like one thing that inflamed that situation to some degree with Matthew Judon and Devon Godchow was Christian Barmore getting paid.
Yeah.
Because I I know this, like Judon and Godchow believe that they were better players over the last couple of years than Barmore was. Now, whether you agree with that or not, doesn't matter. That's what they thought. We're more consistent, we're more dependable. And now the team's gone in and hasn't taken care of us, and they're paying this guy 3 times what they're paying us. And that's why, like, for example, like that's why Bill would never pay a receiver more than he paid Julian Edelman when he was on the team. That's why Bill would never pay a safety more than he paid Devin McCourty. There was an order to all of that stuff and an order in which he paid guys. And we got on him because of it. And I think that they made mistakes at times because of it. They were cheap at times because of it, but they were disciplined about it. And I think that that's where some of these problems stem from, is the amount of guys you paid and then the rank in the locker room and how guys see the rank in the locker room.
And that's fair. It's also, Patrick Mahomes is the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. I mean, just time.
Right, but
when you're
but we're talking about within one.
No, I understand.
You know
I'm
what I
just
mean?
talking about in general. Like that's kind of an. I
Sure.
think that's a net negative. It might work in the short term.
Well,
But
here's an
contracts
example.
come up at different times. And second of all,
Right.
Judon was hurt last year. Go ahead.
And here, but like San Francisco is a good example, right? Like, so Christian McCaffrey started like rattling cages on his contract right after the Super Bowl, right? He wanted his contract adjusted. Well, they were negotiating with Ayuk, so they felt like we have to fix McCaffrey's contract before we go in on Ayuk, because if we pay Ayuk 28-30 million dollars per year, well, then how are we going to turn around and just give Christian 19? So they had to do McCaffrey before they did Ayuk, right? Well, then they do McCaffrey, and now Trent Williams is pissed and doesn't show up to camp.
So
That's the way these things work a lot of the
and
time.
that's what you get for drafting well and having a good team and not winning a Super Bowl.
And that's a champagne problem.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, do you believe? Let's go. Do you believe?
But it's the same concept as what's happening in New England.
Do you believe that San Francisco's that window's closed or
No.
close to closing? Okay, because that's people are
no,
saying that.
I think on this particular group, yes. Like, are they going to be able to keep this group of players together? It's going to be tough. And is it going to be tough to keep up the pace at which they've drafted and developed? Yes. But they always have answers. You know what I mean? Like, you just look at like what they've done over the last
What
5 or 6
what
years.
they've done at quarterback alone, Bert, the fact that they've been able to, dig themselves out of multiple holes in that one position leads me to believe, like, yeah, the window might be closing, but I
on
thought
this group of players, but
they'll figure that
right.
if the past is any indication, they'll figure something out.
They should have 2 Super Bowls, and they don't, and it's going to be a real shame if that window closes.
I mean, here's the
what
thing.
a disappointing team, Hachi Machi.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Like, I think they have 7 guys left from the Super Bowl team from 19.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, DeForest Buckner gone, Eric Armstead gone. Mike McGlinchey, who was their starting right tackle, was the 9th pick in the draft. He's gone. So, like, is it going to be tough to replace George Kittle as he ages out, Trent Williams as he ages out, Deebo Samuel? Like, I don't think he's going to be around forever. Is it going to be tough to replace these guys? Sure it is. Do I think they can do it? Evidence says they can. And it's going to be different. The next group is going to be built around Brock Purdy and Nick Bosa and some of the younger guys in that team. But I mean, they've done such a good job building and developing players, and I think they have one of the 5 best coaches in the NFL. So I think they'll be fine. But I would agree, yes, that there's a lot of pressure on this particular group because I don't know how many more swings this particular group of players gets at.
If you like that clip, and how could you not? Check out more videos from Toucher and Hardy here. Point slightly up and to the left. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. Point slightly down and to the left. And for the latest from the Sports Hub, download at 985thesportshub.com.